Hello, everyone. This is Joe,
And TJ?
and we are the Schoolhouse 302. And this is our 302 Thoughts, which is a part of our One Thing series where we take a deep dive into a particular topic. This month, we're thrilled, at least I am. TJ knows that this is one of my favorite topics, which is accountability. Serving as the director of assessment accountability for years. This is something near and dear to my heart. However, we wanted to take a different look this month, this time, and really reflect inward on what does accountability mean in a post-pandemic world. Usually when we think of accountability, we're thinking mandates at the federal and state level. We're thinking state assessments. We're thinking annual data reviews, strategic plans, all of this stuff typically associated with accountability. We wanted to take a different look because accountability means so many different things, but we've also learned quite a bit the last 2 years. So how do we take that knowledge? How do we then take what we know hasn't worked over the last couple of years, merge that with high expectations, really to set a whole new level of really what we're trying to achieve in our schools, for our students, for our staff, and for ourselves. So this is accountability, but from a different lens. TJ?
Yeah, so the one thing that we did outline in the piece this month, the blog that we wrote, is the fact that we want to set clear and attainable goals, clear and measurable goals, I should say, as well, in every facet of our school. So we enumerated this to 17 things. It could move past that as well, Joe, but everything from extracurricular activities to the curriculum and instruction, to nutritional services, and to the custodial staff. We want everybody to have clear goals, because really when we can enumerate those goals, when we can see them, when we have them on the wall, when people know what they are, when we can say what they are department by department, that's when we're going to get true levels of accountability. If people can't describe the goals that they have in every single department, it's no good in trying to hold people accountable, because it becomes very elusive and very ambiguous in terms of what we mean by that. When we say holding people accountable, the answer has to be to what? Anything else with that part, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. This was first inspired, that list, from some work done at the Policy Institute at the University of Delaware years ago. And you really don't see it that often. When you get into school leadership, we start talking about the instructional leader, which is critical. We want our administrators at the building level and at the district level to have and understand instruction and understand really what that looks like and sounds like in the classroom. But when you just talked a minute ago, TJ, about like we have to have measurable goals in all of these areas, that's what we're talking about. Accountability at every end. And so whether or not it's assessment, whether it's our extracurricular involvement, whether it's career and technical education, whether it's nutritional services, as you mentioned, and even personnel, digging into how well we onboard people. How well are we doing these things? And what are those measurable goals? And how do we hold ourselves accountable to them? And that's really what we're talking about, is every facet of the organization functioning at a very high level. And that then gets into feedback. So not only do we set the goals based on these 17 areas, everybody agrees that these are the goals necessary to have greater student success within an organization built on excellence. But then how do we then measure our goals and then provide feedback on it? And so that's the cycle. The feedback should be something that's we look forward to, not something like, you got to be kidding me. We got to go through a feedback session. No, the feedback is something we want to know whether or not we're making progress. We talk about trust quite a bit. This is in an environment of trust. feedback is something we actually look forward to because it's something that we're going to do for one another to make sure that we're achieving what we need to for our students. Any more on feedback, TJ?
No, Joe, I think you hit the nail on the head. The one thing I will say is with the clear and measurable goals, the leader's always coming back to those goals, always coming back to them for accountability, just like we do with the mission and the vision. And then great leaders are always trying to get better at feedback as well, getting feedback on their feedback, improving the way that they think about food feedback, the amount of feedback that they can give, the quality of the feedback, and just really diving in. We always say that feedback falls into three buckets: specific praise, which people forget about. Praise and celebration is feedback. Corrective action, which is the minor tweaks that we want people to make over time, take action on items that are meaningful for making improvements. And then the questions that we ask each other and the dialogue that we have around the work that we're doing. And if we can get better at those three things in feedback cycles, we will get better at holding ourselves and others accountable. It's just part of that: clear goals, measurable goals, and feedback cycles. Any final words, Joe?
Yeah, I just think as we, talk about feedback and we really look at to what we try to provide people and, schools and leaders, I think about our first book, TJ, Candid and Compassionate Feedback. That's really resonated with people. So, you and I decided to go ahead and, create an online course that can be done asynchronously. And this is designed to help people with that feedback under the umbrella of accountability. And we really get into some unique tools to help guide feedback, because coming a master of communication and feedback, is something we always are pursuing. It's not something that comes natural. Even those who are, sometimes good at it from the gate still have to work on it, because remember, we want to anchor it, which is something we teach, to the goals, and those goals are embedded into our accountability system. So when you're describing going back, relooking at our goals and objectives, are we on track? All built within feedback, within the umbrella of accountability. That's when we really start to see, momentum being gained within our system. So yeah, the course we're really excited about, a labor of love for sure. But I think it's a nice way to put the book into really a digital version, and we can reach more people. And like you mentioned, it was not a thought of ours at all until some people came to us and said, maybe you should do this as a course. We launched a course about a year ago, had great success, great feedback. And here we are now with an asynchronous version of it that we're thrilled about.
That's true. And we hope that you'll check it out under our courses at theschoolhouse302.com. If it's not there, it's because it's brand new and it's coming soon, but it's ready to go. The testers have been through it, and we hope that you'll find it there, put it in your cart, and enjoy the course. Tell us how it went. All right, there you have it. Another 302 thoughts, folks, here at the Schoolhouse 302. You can always find more on leadership at theschoolhouse302.com, blog, post, podcast, books to read, and much more. We will see you next time.